Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Divine Empress, your Fulani sister. The reminder that I have for us right now is we are the leaders of our experience, and to not fight our supporters, our cheerleaders. The reason why I say this because we get to points in life where things get so tough that it's hard for us to have hope, or we struggle in many ways, including with our faith, with our belief. And it's like, I'm going to use a race in this channel. I use race as an example a lot, but I'm trying to make a point. Hopefully that point is comes across as it's supposed to. It will um so, like, imagine like you're in the race, right? And you're at the point of the race where it's really tough. You are so tired, so exhausted. It feels so heavy. And when you're in that stage and you're down, it's hard for you to see hope. You're so tired that can all you focused on is how you physically feel and how drained and tired you are for because of how long you've been running this race and how the experience of life and what has happened to you, the weight of it all, how it feels on you right now. And during moments like that, you are vulnerable, right? And what happens is that because we are here on this earth and we have divine beings who support us, they're our cheerleaders, right? So they're like those on the sidelines who they've been with us from the beginning of the journey. So they know everything that we've gone through. They've seen it and they've been supporting us in every way, shape, and form that they can. And they will always be there. And what I think happens, like, during this moment, they try to be for us what we cannot be in the moment. We cannot see what's ahead. We cannot even see what's around us because when you're really tired and exhausted, it's almost like you like this fog in your eyes, and all you can see is the right now and focus on what you're experiencing. So they try to feed hope, light, and faith into us and try to take care of us. I might have said this already, like in another video. Like, imagine, like, when you're taking care of a sick person or when you're the one sick, there are times when you're sick in a way that someone else has to help nourish you back to health because you cannot do it. And that's how it feels like when we get to that point in life where everything feels so heavy and so hard. Like, we have supporters that God sends our way to help nourish us back to health. But we have to be receptive to that support. Sometimes, like, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. If you're struggling financially so much, even though that's a temporary phase that you're not meant to be, that you're going to eventually come out of it, you don't want to hear messages of hope. You don't want to hear messages telling you how you are the one who's going to be the generational curse breaker, who's going to be the generational wealth builder in your family, or that you will be a millionaire, you're going to be rich, a lot of money's coming your way. Because it's like, why can't it come now? You've been through so much already. Like, you're so done. You don't want to hear anything about that because it is not reflective of where you are right now. Or you've been through so much regarding love. You don't want to hear messages that love is coming your way, that there is somebody that's destined for you because of how you feel at the moment. Or it's felt so much like you've been fighting alone that it's hard for you to believe that you are supported because everything seemed like you've had to do it alone and you still feel alone. But what I would say is that, from my understanding right now, at least, we are always learning, right? So that's why I said right now, because I don't know what else is going to be exposed to me as I go forward in this journey about the topics that I've already spoken in this channel, what I'm going to learn later, but I can only talk about right now. So From what I understand, there are laws in this universe that doesn't allow certain things to happen. Like for example, you are the leader of your experience, right? At the end of the day, all of the divine beings and the support that you have, sometimes you have to give certain permission and consent for them to be able to interfere on your behalf. It doesn't mean that they don't want. It's like you are the leader of the group and you have authority in this experience in your life to allow things to happen or not allow things to happen. You can accept or reject help, even the divine ones, right? That's why sometimes, like, some of us ask why don't the divine beings, if they're so benevolent, so good, so this, why don't they interfere? It's because we have free will. We have to give them the permission and the consent to be able to help us. We have to ask for certain things because it's like, even with God, even with faith, I would say, it's like you might have had a soul contract and have things that are part of the contract in your destiny. But when you come here, how you experience things and how you react to things and the choices that you make can affect whether you get to live that contract or that predetermined um, plan for your life fully or not. Let's say, for example, you were destined to have something or be with someone, but you are in this experience and you're not making the choices to align with that, then you're not going to experience it, if you get what I mean. Or you reject that person that was predestined for you, then you're not going to be able to. Or that person decides to not follow the contract and make different choices, and that person is not going to be for you. So it's up to you to align with what is meant for you. That's why I would ask, like, ask for to know what the plan for your life is, and ask to be revealed where you are in terms of aligning with your soul contract and your destiny, and ask for guidance and directions on how you can align better with that. Ask to be revealed, for things to be revealed that do not align with your contract at this time. Get like a progress report on where you are versus on what was already predestined. A lot of times though, we are already in alignment even when we don't think we are, if that makes sense. But maybe there's a reason why I've said this. But anyways, you are the leader, you're making the choices, and you can you can ask for more. You can shift and change things for the way that works best. You can maybe um pray and ask and be like, "Oh, the divine beings of the highest light who support me, I need this, I need that." You can dictate and say how you want the support to come for you, how the support would work best, in what areas do you want more support in. Like for example, like I am a messenger too, and I deliver messages, but I listen to other people. But at this point, I feel like the kind of messages that I need, that I want to receive, is the messages that is more present based, that is more like guiding me on where I am right now and what I need to do, versus like me knowing what's going to happen in the future, or me knowing about focusing too much on what is being done against me type of thing. Cuz I can focus better in knowing, like, in focusing on my own progress and just focusing on bettering myself, than if I have to think about other things or other people. I want to put the focus on me, so I can pray and ask to receive messages that is more tailored to my personal journey right now, that is reflective of where I'm at right now. And with other thing, like, um don't feel like you have to accept everything. Remember, like I said, you are the leader, you are the owner, you have dominion and power over your own experience. At the end of the day, what you do not give consent to, whether it's coming from those of good or not, what you do not consent cannot happen. And even like God allows us to just be. Even if others want to support us, if we do not consent to their help, it's not going to happen. And a lot of times, like if you're going through something and you feel like you're alone and all of that stuff, you're not going to get the help or the support sometimes until you ask for it. Say, I need help with this. I want those of the highest light who have the skills and knowledge in this regard to help me through this. Always make sure you're asking for the most benevolent ones, for the ones who genuinely want to support. Because when you're allowing, opening up your energy, anything can come. So and your word has power to allow things in or to block things out. So that's why I say you always make sure that you're asking from of those who are the most genuine, of most benevolent, and of the highest light to intercede for you, to come and support you, because they are ancestors and beings of the highest white light that have a lot of experience and knowledge and things that they can support you with. And they need your consent, your permission to come. There are a lot of those, and this can be about anything. Let's say, for example, there's a cause that you're very passionate about. Like, let's say you're very passionate about ending human trafficking, ending certain things that are happening in the globe, and you are very passionate about nature. Then pray and ask that those of the highest white light to come and help support that cause. Ask for the guardian angels to come and help the planet, to come and help the divine mother, to help nature. Whatever you're passionate about, you can call in these divine beings of the highest light who are truly genuine and benevolent enough and want to support to come in. If you are, it can be anything. It can be something personal to you, or it can be something on a global level. And I feel like we have to start calling in, we need to call in these higher beings, because some of them are waiting to be able to come in, but we have to be the ones to call them in. We have to call them in because of the way this thing is set up. Okay? Do your own research. Of course, do your own research. It's okay if you're skeptical about what I'm saying. You don't want to agree with it, you don't understand it. Just do your own research. Pray and ask whatever you believe in, always to have more clarity, on what anything that I might have said. At the end of the day, like I always say, discernment is up to you, and everything is a choice. Everything you hear from me is like a suggestion, is a perspective that you can receive or reject. Do your research and ask your question until you feel comfortable with whatever. But I want to encourage us to put our hands together and collectively, as people, start calling in the benevolent, genuine, divine beings who can support us in this experience personally and collectively as people in this beautiful planet, especially if you are part of quote unquote chosen. I feel like everybody's chosen. If you're here, you're chosen. You can make a difference. You have a purpose. So because there are certain things that we cannot all, we can't do ourselves, and we can do much more if we have that divine support with us. But we have to understand that there are rules that govern and can block certain things from coming unless we give it access. We can, if we connect to the galactic beings, we can ask them for help. And like I said, with anything you're asking for help, call in the highest, the most benevolent, good ones. Say the words you want. You're asking for the most benevolent and generous ones who have pure, genuine intentions to help and support, and that align with the Most High. Because sometimes you can be calling in things that might do things for the sake of good that might not be good. Say your intentions and say with the good that you hope that these beings do on this earth. And ask God to ensure that they do it in a way that aligns with the Most High. Because I don't want you calling in anything and anyhow. Listen to what I've said and don't just take it and run with it and do something and end up calling in things here that will not serve your good or the higher good. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't understand, you don't feel comfortable, then don't do it. Keep doing your research and whatever you need to do until you understand, you know, what you're doing, or it's nothing to be forced and it's nothing to scare you. But yeah, so with this kind of message also what I want to say is that we're not meant to always be helped, right? Because we're meant to get to a point of everything serves a purpose, and some things are happen to help us mature and grow. And with those certain things that sometimes those who want to support us can only be cheerleaders, because we have to go through those journeys for our own personal evolution, right? I find that sometimes, like I was saying, it's hard for us to receive help when we are down bad, you know? It's hard for us to see hope in all of that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't feel like you're alone, even when things get hard or that you don't have support. Sometimes it just has to happen, right? This progress of ascending and, you know, working through our healing journeys and trying to be the best version of ourselves, it's not fun, it's not easy. It comes with symptoms, even physically. And you can look up ascension symptoms and all of that so you can understand better your journey. And you can always pray about it to whatever your faith is to try to understand. That's the thing. Try to always personalize this spiritual journey for yourself, because I feel like it's a very personal thing. It's not one size fits all. And certain things and ways that work for some people might not work for others. Like, there's different ways people can meditate. Some people meditation can be sitting down and closing their eyes, but some people meditation can be when they take a walk. You know, whatever, they connect differently. And when we are too focused on looking how other people do the spiritual journey and trying to copy them, then it takes away from us having our personal journey. And sometimes we struggle and things don't work out for us because we're not doing things in a way that works for us. And that's why we're not seeing certain results, because we're not connected in the way that works for us. If you're trying to, you see somebody wearing a certain, let's say spirituality is a certain type of shoe, right? But someone is wearing a certain size and that's not your size. And you're trying to fit into that size, you have to find your own. It's the same kind of shoe, but your size is different from theirs. And you got to fit into your own size in order to get what you need. I hope that makes sense. And with anything, if it becomes too much, too confusing, too uncomfortable, step back and take a break and reflect. If the messages become too much, if the experience becomes too much, take a step back or just pause and breathe before you proceed. As always, peace, love, and light. Know that you are always divinely guided, divinely protected, divinely provided for. And remember, discernment is up to you.